Abruptly, but lawfully, the Spanish debt crisis has erupted over the past 48 hours into a systemic rupture in the entire transatlantic financial and monetary facade, posing the immediate question: will the European Monetary Union and the entire transatlantic financial system survive to the end of this holiday weekend? Just as the markets in Europe and the US were closing, the Spanish government was slapped with the reality that its commitments to the bailout of Bankia on May 9th to the tune of 4.5 billion euros now became 23 billion. That is, in a span of just 2 weeks, what was required to bail out the assets of Bankia rose by over 500%. This means that what was required to bail out Bankia 2 weeks ago now means nothing. Economist Linda Larouche issued a declaration of the emergency measures that must be adopted in the wake of the Spanish debt explosion of the past 48 hours. A debt explosion whose rate of increase, as Larouche identifies, overtakes the ability to pay it.
The rate of collapse now exceeds the rate of the attempts to overtake the collapse. That means that essentially the entire European system in its present form is in the process of a hopeless degeneration. Now, this is something comparable to what happened in Germany in 1923, and they've caught themselves in a trap where a rate of collapse exceeds the rate of their attempt to overtake yesterday. So therefore, we're in a new situation, and the only solution in Europe in particular is Glass-Steagall, or the Glass-Steagall equivalent, with no fooling around. Straight Glass-Steagall, no bailouts, none. In other words, you have to collapse the entire Euro system. The entirety of the Euro system has to collapse. But it has to collapse in the right way. It has to be a voluntary collapse, which is like a Glass-Steagall process. This means the end of the Euro, really. The Euro system is about to end because you can't sustain it.
The Bankia explosion is only one case of an entire ship that is sinking. 3 other Spanish saving banks are on the chopping block with no prospect of any buyers, meaning that the Spanish government will have to nationalize them just as they had done with the indirect takeover of Bankia. On top of that, the autonomous regions of Spain, which carry their own separate debt obligations from private bondholders, are also screaming for help from the central government, demanding a bailout of their own. Artur Mas, the president of the autonomous region of Catalonia, Spain's richest, demanded through journalists that the central government in Madrid has only 2 choices: give them money or underwrite their further borrowing on the markets, saying, "We don't care how they do it, but we need to make payments at the end of the month." The regions were expecting to face a 36 billion euro debt rollover for the year. But as we see, time has run out. They need instant financial injections that do not exist. Take this together with the sovereign debt blowouts and panic flight capital, and you realize that Spain can be the breakpoint for the European Monetary Union and the entire transatlantic financial system. It could happen this holiday weekend in both the US and Europe. If not this weekend, the moment of reckoning is just days or weeks away. Currently, the leaders of the G8 nations are using this quiet Memorial Day weekend to come up with a new bailout policy that would not only be an utter failure, but could ignite the complete Weimar-style hyperinflationary explosion of the entire system this week. As Mr. LaRouche said today, and as the Spanish situation illustrates, the debt of the entire system is growing at a rate that no bailout could ever catch up to. The only solution at this point is an immediate Glass-Steagall reform. Bankrupt this system and make a swift return to a system of national sovereignty with national currencies with the ability to finance the physical recovery of sovereign nations. You no longer have any other options.